Hi everybody, welcome to the Keep the Heat podcast. Keep the Heat is a men's peer support group in Blantyre and it's been running for nearly 3 years now. And it's in the group, for anybody who doesn't know what we do, we go cold water dipping, we go hill walking, we do loads of other activities out with for meeting on a Sunday. So we've started up the wee podcast is just a wee addition to bring to the group for people to tell their experiences and stuff like that. So our first guest on the night is Mr. Jimmy Whelan, who is a founding member of Keep the Heat and he's also the treasurer. So we'll just go on with starting the podcast, and thank you for coming on, Jimmy, to start with. And
Kris.
we'll just start with how did Keep the Heat start for you?
Well, Keep the Heat actually started three guys meeting up in a pub, which I wasn't one of them. It was three guys, it was Frogger, Davey and Choppy all went in the pub and they spoke about obviously different complications they had in their life. So they decided they were going to form a group, and I actually get invited. To be quite honest, I think I only get invited because I had the premises. And we end up meeting, I think it was a fortnight after that meeting. And it became quite successful, and then we put our heads together and we come up with the name Keep the Heat. Well, Frogger come up with Keep the Heat, and it was seconded by everybody, which then took us forward to where we are now. And it's just kind of grew arms and legs for them.
Good. I think that's a big thing about this and all, is getting premises and stuff like that and keeping things going, and do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, we're quite fortunate, obviously. I run another charity from this hall, so we took it that wee bit further and said, right, okay, a Sunday isn't used in here, so we could use it. So the charity that I run decided, right, okay, we'll give, it's a men's mental health group, so we'll give them it for nothing, free, gratis, and they can get used to the premises basically any time it's not getting used, and that's the way it's worked since actually the inception. So which has been quite good because it's been a good cost saving.
I think that's the big thing about communities as well, is all help each other out and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? So what about Keep the Heat? What does it bring to your life, Keep the Heat?
Well, I didn't think I'd anything wrong with me. You know what I mean? I was a recovering alcoholic, but a little did I know that my head was totally messed up. But I didn't think it was until I ended up speaking to other guys. When I spoke around the table with other people who had went through addictions and grief and different things like that, then I realised maybe that's how my head's run away with itself. My top piece was just all audible, but I didn't think so. But once I started to analyse my own self a wee bit, and I said, look, this group's really helping me because it allows me to offload. I go to other meetings, but this gives me something different because it's more of a globalisation of all the different addictions and grief and things like that. It's all about there. You know, even guys who suffer from shyness and things like that will come in here, and I'll give you one instance. We've got a guy who comes here now and absolutely loves it. He came in here, he'd just lost his wife about 6 months, and he was suffering really, really bad. And he came into this meeting and he sat there for a full year and didn't utter a word, but came to every meeting every 2 weeks, because we used to have it once a month and then we went to every 2 weeks. We actually went to once a week at one point. But this guy came in and he sat there and he was absorbing everything that everybody was saying. And then all of a sudden he just started talking. And I think it was an amazement to everybody that was in here that he started talking about the death of his wife and how he was near suicidal and things like that. You know, and to me, watching him grow in his recovery of grief gave me something special, because I wasn't watching somebody who was recovering from alcoholism, which is a great thing to watch as well, because you've passed a gift on to somebody. But when you see somebody who can look at grief and come through that and come through the other side, and he loves it in here now, absolutely loves it. And we've had a couple of newcomers join who've come in exactly the same thing, and they love it because they've got a kind of special bond with the guy. You know, Grammy's his name. They've got a special bond with him because he can talk about the death of his wife. You know, and to me, the whole sense of Keep the Heat is everybody's got a different problem in their life, whether it be drink, whether it be drugs, or whether it be whatever addiction they've got, you know, but they can all speak about it freely. And I do believe that speaking to your peers around a table is far more beneficial than it is going to see a counsellor. And that's my personal opinion.
I think that with the group as well, even because you hear it's a man's like kind of mental health group, but it's no, when you walk in here, it's no, you walk in and it's all sad, we're all talking about sad stories, it's all happy, it's good, it's fun. And I think even for guys to walk through the door, I think that's a big thing, just to even walk through the door. And then even, as you were saying, a couple of months down the line, he's sharing his story and saying stuff like that. I think the confidence guys can get out of that with just sitting down amongst other guys and just getting it out, and it can help them as well, do you know what I mean?
Well, we've got another guy who moved to China after coming here, and he phoned me on the Saturday night, and he was suicidal. He said, I don't think I can go on my life. And he came here on the Sunday, and his partner had to bring him up to the front door to make sure I took him in here. And he sat like a mouse. We used to break up into wee groups and talk. And since then, Remy has prospered in his life, and he moved to China. I'll be honest, I thought it was a bad move, logistical move, moving away halfway through his recovery for us, but it's worked out well for him, and he's done really well.
I think that's a big thing and all, the knock-on effect with the families, obviously. If you, like for me personally, I know it's been a big help to my family as well. See, they enjoy seeing me getting better, they enjoy me coming here and stuff like that, so I think the family effect as well is good, you know what I mean?
And I just look at, as you say, some of the letters that we've had in, people saying, oh, thanks very much for giving me my husband back. You know, and all we done was sit down and talk with him, just around a table with some biscuits and a cup of tea. We weren't giving him nothing special, but we're giving him somebody, like-minded people to speak to, which is a big thing. When you're one-to-one with a counsellor, which I've never done, it might be beneficial to some people, but you're only sharing with one person, whereas if you're sharing with a load of people, it gets a lot off your back, you know, and a lot off your mind. You'll get a good sleep at night if you come to a meeting. And I guarantee that you'll get a good sleep if you come to a Keep the Heat meeting.
I mean, there's a lot of other success stories as well. I mean, we've got another guy in the group who, before he came to Keep the Heat, he'd never even climbed a hill before, and now I think he's bagged about 15 or 16 Monroes. And I mean, it's all the other things, like just going cold water therapy as well. A lot of people are like, I'm not doing that, that's murder, and then they go and do it once, and then before you know it, they're out every other week with. So there is other things that we do that can help other people outside with the meetings as well.
Definitely, you know, we is going to like Hotty Totty and things like that, and going to Loch Lomond and doing dips and having a wee campfire. I think that's all great. It's great for bonding and bringing people together, because then they see each other outside of this, you know, and they get to know, and they become pals. You know, I would say, anything that's said in here stays in here, right? And that's the rule. But when you're outside and you're talking to people, you get to know the person a wee bit better. And that has got a lot to do with it. Because a lot of these guys will no break the barriers, and a lot of these guys are all, no chance, you're not getting by me, which I've done myself. Going into other meetings, I've went, man, what's he wanting? No giving him anything, because why is he nice to me? No, it doesn't work like that. But in here, I feel it's different.
I felt that as well, because I'll be honest, before I even came here, I was one of the guys that would say, I'm definitely not going to something like that, do you know what I mean? And everybody knows I get involved with everything now. I love it, do you know what I mean? I love the connection, I love the boys, it's good for me, do you know what I mean? It's good, and like, sitting down at the meetings as well, a few people have said to me when my first couple of meetings when I came in, they just thought I was quiet, but I was sitting there with my palms were sweaty, and it's just that it's different now, you know, sitting in front of pals and opening up, and it's good to see, as you say, other people getting better as well. I mean, you can see them through the weeks and the months and the comments, they just flourish in it, do you know what I mean? So what about the Keep the Heat moving forward then? What do you see the group doing in the future?
Well, moving forward, I hope we get bigger and we can actually open our arms up a wee bit more and bring more people in. The whole thing is, as you say, there's a big deterrent with men's mental health. Not only with us, but even with the NHS. They've not got any time for them, and they'll refer people to us. But people don't want to walk in that door, not unless somebody's taking them by the hand and bringing them in. So we need to try and find a way to conquer that. And we can go to all the different workshops and things like that. That's great, but we need to try and come up with some sort of idea whereas we can capture that audience and bring them in. And it's not as much an audience. All you're trying to do is help people get better, because we know what like the suicide rate is. You know, we've seen somebody actually coming in here and taking their own life, which was a big hit. It was a big hit for me because I knew him personally. And for that to happen, that's something we don't want to see happen. Thankfully, we've not seen anybody with self-harm and things like that. You know, but it would be good if we could branch out and look at it. And I don't mean branch out in such a way that Andy's Man Club has. You know, that we'll start one here, we'll start one there, because I don't really agree with that. We've got a base here, and we've got a base that's big enough we could bring them in here. Because I don't see the point of starting a Keep the Heat in Hamilton. You know, because it'll be the same people that go here. We need to try and capture Hamilton people that come here.
But that's the thing as well, even although this is a Blantyre based group, there's people from all over the place can come to it. It's not just...
Well, a wee instance, or a wee example, is we've got a guy from Fife who comes here. You know,
guys from Edinburgh that's came as well.
Guys from Edinburgh, and a wee bit more in the background of it, a lot of it was through football hooliganism. You know, all these guys got to know each other through football hooliganism, and that was how really the group started. It's 3 lunatics all came together and had a wee discussion. Had a wee discussion, then found out there's more lunatics out there, so why don't we bring them on? And maybe we can try and get them off these things. You know, if the guys come in who've been mad with it and flaked out in the kitchen and things like that, we've seen it all, you know what I mean? But we've all got the proper training now, we've all got the proper first aid certificates. So I've done loads of different courses on different things. So it's all these things. It's a big learning curve. You've got to remember, we started this with no experience. All we had experience-wise was our life experience,
and that's massive.
And we were all to share it.
And that's it. You walk into here and you're maybe scared to say something, and then you hear somebody speaking and telling a wee bit of their life experience, and you're going, geez, oh, I've done that, and that helps you to open up as well. And especially sitting in a group, it's hard to speak in front of a group. It's when you're not professional speakers, do you know what I mean? And just sharing a wee bit of your own life experience benefits others. Do you know what I mean? Aye. So also the group as well, look, as you said there, you're talking about we've been on wee health and safety courses. We've done that within the group as well, and also we've got writers in the group. We've got guys who are learning meditation and all that now, and also guys who brought books out. So what about yourself? I know you've got a wee book out, and you've done the poems as well.
I'm a published author, but I started writing probably in 2009 when I was mad with it, to be honest. Right, so I started writing wee daft poems, and it just kind of everything transpired through there and moved its way through the course till I got to, I think it was the start of last year, and I ended up putting a book together. I actually started writing the book about my brother, and it transpired that he died in the book, and I ended up taking the book on and writing it about my own life story. And at the tail end of the book, it's all about recovery and how, and I always say if it helps one person, if they read that book, and if it helps one person to recover from what I went through, it's done its job.
Good.
Just the one person.
Have you any plans for any future books?
I have actually. I'm in the middle of writing a book now, and it's for recovering alcoholics actually, and it's all a book of short stories and poems that I've put together, that I've wrote all the short stories and the poems myself. I haven't included anybody else in it. So I think to date I've done about 30 odd short stories, so I'm about 3/4 of the way there doing it, but this time I've got to take my time on it and have a good look at it before I actually put it out to publish it. But that's my fix, is writing.
You're helping yourself?
That helps me, you know, rather than pick a drink up or do whatever, or go for drugs or whatever. I see writing as being my therapy.
What a substitute then.
You know, that just it floats my boat. I was away a fortnight's holiday with my wife here, and she said, "What are you doing?" I said, "All I'm doing is writing. There's nothing else to do here." You know, and that was all I'd done for 2 weeks.
Good.
You know, it was just right, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it as as a pastime, it's a hobby, but I do enjoy it.
Every other morning you're always putting your wee poems on the chat as well, so they always keep everybody going.
Must have wrote about 500 poems.
Aye.
You know, for like my own childhood right through to obviously the ones that I put on our pages is probably all ones about recovery and things like that. But I've wrote other ones, football ones, and all different things, you know. But I enjoy my writing because it gives me a switch off to do something. When I finish a story, I look at it and I always send it to somebody to proof it. So they'll proof it.
Is this alright?
They'll proof it and then they'll say, "Oh, you should do that way or do this." And I always look at that and I'll see if I can change it. And then I'll say, "Right, I'm proud of that now, I've done that one." But I always go back and revisit and add a bit in. In fact, the other day I wrote one called The Pink Panther, and it was a thing that happened to me 40 years ago in Blackpool, and it was all about breaking into a shop in Blackpool because I was skint and stole 7 teddy bears out the shop window, and one of them was a 6-foot Pink Panther, believe it or not. So that's what I called the short story, was The Pink Panther. And I had it hanging in my bedroom in my mom's house with a noose round its neck. I had it hanging just to remember me of that holiday to Blackpool. Because we come back with black eyes. Black eyes, we never come back with a clapper in, but let's just say there was a few cherries lost in that holiday.
Fun. So what about I know you brought out a wee kind of music video as well. Did you write
I wrote the lyrics for that, and it was a friend of mine who's got a band called Gilhoolies, and he asked me, "Look, is it okay if I use this?" And I says, "Aye." He said, "But I'd like you to do the video for it." And being that shy that I am, you know, I said, "No, I don't think so." And
get me in the video.
He says, "You don't need to talk." He said, "I'll just take some short bits of follow me, and then we'll put it out and we'll put a video together." And that's what they done. And I don't know if it's done in like, I know it's had a few hits on YouTube and whatever, you know, and I don't know if Paul's going to include it in his next album or whatever. But it was just another wee thing, another wee string to my bow, you know.
Any more plans for any more of them?
No.
One hit
that
wonder?
was a one-off. If they asked me to sing, they've no chance.
Oh no, stuff like that. Karaoke?
Aye.
Oh, that's good. Well, listen, it's been great to have you on, and what was I going to say? What about if somebody was coming through the doors to Keep the Heat? What advice would you give them if they were going to come through the doors? I know it is quite hard to come to like a meeting.
First thing you need to do is when somebody comes into this meeting, is everybody give them a big warm welcome, make them feel happy and at home, and so they can sit down and they can feel at ease, because that is the whole thing here. Feel at ease first, and then you don't need to talk, you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is sit and listen. Just keep your mouth shut, sit and listen, and then take it from there. That's all they've got to do. And then if they want to feel, some people might not come back, we've had it. We've had guys come through the door in once, oh that's not for me that. But you've had other guys who come 3 or 4 times, know they need it, but think they're cured after 3 or 4 weeks. No, you're no mate, but just and keep coming back. It doesn't matter how well you get, just keep coming back, because you've got to need this for the rest of your life, because something can trigger you like that.
It's about helping the newcomer as well, the ones that have been here a long time, do you know what
exactly,
I mean? Make them feel welcome.
That's how we can help them. We've been here 3 years or 2.5 years or whatever, so we can help them. You know, just be saying, I've been in this group for 3 years, so
I'm still here.
And I'm still here, so something must work. Otherwise, I'd have just went out the door and say, I can do that myself, as well loads of people have done, and then come back crawling at the end of it. But we're a different kind of group, whereas we'll never knock anybody back. We'll always take somebody back in again. It's no, because ego and pride does a lot of things to you. It can mess up your head, which I've done with mine for 50 years. Ego just took me to another element. I thought I was it, and then you come in here and you see how humble you are. You know, and that word humility, you know, nobody really knows what humility means. You know, we've all fucking humiliated ourselves loads of times, but to have that word humble and humility in your life is something totally different. You know you can bring, you've got to bring yourself down to that level.
Excellent, mate. Well, you've definitely come across as if it's a good place to come as well, and it sounds as if it's been a definite positive in your life as well. Keep the heat. So
definitely, I thoroughly enjoy it here. If I'm putting a message out to anybody, I would say come along here and try it. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but you've got nothing. All you've got to do is gain here. You've got nothing to lose.
Cool. Well,
all right. Thanks very much, Kris.
Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
mate.
Cheers.